Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Mars mission set released in 2007, so of course it's a Lego set from the Mega Bloks one, and it's going to be the MX-71 Recon Dropship if I'm not mistaken. And here is the box. So really quickly, as you can see, of course you got the usual orange-ish background, the Lego Mars mission logo, and you can notice that in this set we're going to have 3 vehicles, so the dropship itself, a little vehicle for the humans, and another spaceship for the aliens, because of course the Mars mission theme is all about humans versus aliens for some crystals on the planet Mars. That said, let's move on to the top of the box, which shows you all the figs included, and this means there is 2 spacemen and 4 aliens, as you can see, so really a nice number of minifigs. Of course, the 1:1 picture scale of one spaceman winning. And on the back, of course, with the box destroying itself, you have, of course, all the gimmicks, a little group scene, all the sets released in the first year, and well, maybe a part, a limited edition set, but that does not count. And well, that's quite all for the box, because I'm going to be quick. Of course, it's going to be a kind of a long review because there is many things to review in this. So then the instruction booklet, which shows you the same pictures as the one on the front of the box. Well, of course, you got the steps, 21st steps, without counting the sub-steps. Once again, the gimmicks shown you, yes, there's the gimmicks. The parts list on 2 pages, and the group scene with all the sets. And I think that's all for the instruction booklet, so let's move on directly to the minifig included in this set. So as you may know, we have 2 spacemen, so here is the first one. So of course, in terms of body printing, it's got both the front and the back printed, and it's the same printing as all the other Mars mission spaceman. So nothing really new. A bottle of oxygen in his back, directly printed, because there is no the little plastic parts like the old space, or like the old space set, for example, released in the 90s. And even if the body got two sides printed, the face just got one. So here is the face with some sunglasses in Mars. I don't really see the point of that, but still. And yeah. And of course, it comes with his helmet and his golden visor, which is once again really nice. And that's not all. That is not all, because you got another spaceman. This time I prefer his face than the other guys, and the clothes, if I can say so, are the same, of course. No difference, just the head that change. But we might have already seen this head, because there is some of the spacemen are included in 2 different sets. In fact, it's not like there is exclusive spacemen in each set. So here's the 2 guys, and of course now you got the aliens. So you know, I think by now, that they are made of 2 parts. One part is the legs directly molded together, with of course attached to the studs, and of course the little clip to attach the upper part of the body, which is composed of the arms and the head. And of course, nothing of this part can turn. There is just 1 point of rotation. It's here. You can also notice that it's still got 2 hands which can hold the crystals, all in his body, and glow in the dark feature for his upper body. So this means, of course, it glows in the dark. I think it's pretty obvious. And the head is quite detailed, but you cannot really see because of the fact that it's just 1 color. It's just these guys are just transparent green. And you got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 aliens in this set, which of course are all exactly the same. But well, you got a nice alien family in there, so really nice to have 6 figures in this set, because I think that in the previous set, in the tank, we just got like 3 figures and just 1 spaceman, so that's really nice to have some more things in this set. But that's all about the things. Let's move on to the vehicles, and first the alien side with their spaceship. So here is the frame. As you can see, it's made really simply with some simple bricks, in fact, simple bricks, stuff like that. You just have to notice different things. So first, this little pinhole on the front, which will be useful to link the gun. There's 2 parts here which are used as seat for the aliens to link their feet. So of course they are held in the spaceship. They do not fall off. Excuse me. Also, notice this part on the back, which will come in handy. There's little studs put in a brick with some pinholes, and of course, more importantly, notice the long axle that goes through this brick, because it's really going to be the most important aspect of this spaceship. Plus also this little studs here, which will help this part to attach the wings. So yes, what are the wings in this set? Well, it's quite simple. These are these parts, so as you can see, made with the usual big curved slope brick, as you can see, so with some stickers. Of course, there was no printed parts apart from the figs in this set. It's all stickers. And well, apart from this big part, we're gonna have some other slope bricks right here to follow the shape of this brick. So it's really well done, as you can see. And of course, some other parts to add some details, like this little motor part, some crystals, some full transgreen cylindrical parts, some once again motor parts, water stickers right there, so really full of little details. Here is the back. Notice that in fact this engine part is linked with thanks to this little plate, and also notice that we're gonna have an axle hole here, which is quite useful, plus a little pinhole here, which will be, well, once again quite useful for what? Well, simply to link the axle, of course, through the axle hole, and this little stud through, well, in the pin. And here we go. We have linked the wings, so that's really one of the most unique spaceship design in the Mars mission sim. Well, at least for the first wave of 2007, because of course after that there will be other ships released, but seriously, it's quite nice. And then the second wing, which is exactly the same, well, maybe not for the stickers, but overall it's the same in terms of construction. And well, we are nearly done, but it's not finished yet, because we're now going to link this part. So notice the little green line hose pipe. This technique part, which become useful to link first the 2 antennas used as guns, and then, because we're going to use this axle hole, guess where? So first we're going to link this part to these blue pieces I mentioned earlier, and then of course we're going to link the axle hole through the main axle of this set. Why is there on both sides. And finally, this pinhole, we're going to link this weapon, as you can see, which is made out of a propeller plus some slope bricks and some little transneon wing pieces. Link like that, and there we go. The spaceship is finished. So I'm just going to do a turnaround of it, and then just show you how to seat the aliens in there, and we'll move on to the human side, of course. But first, a little comparison size between an alien and the ship. So as you can see, it's okay, it's not huge, but at least it's still got some interesting size. And then of course we're going to link, thanks to this part right there, we're going to link their feet and just move down this part like that. That said, up right there, and that's all in fact. And in terms of gimmicks or articulation, of course, it's really pro, because you just can turn the weapon and move the seat up or down. There is no other gimmicks, and unlike the other alien spaceship, there is not two modes, so there is not a flight mode and an attack mode. Here it's just one spaceship, one mode, nothing more, nothing less, but at least it's very original. But I think you have understood it by now, so I'm just going to move on to the other part of the construction, because of course we're going to talk about the spaceship later on in the sum up. But we are not yet in the sum up, so let's be quick, let's be fast, and let's move on to the first vehicle of the human, which is of the human side, which is not the dropship, but more like a little vehicle with wheels, which will be useful to drill the Mars soil. That said, it will be made with a big plate, some bricks with pinholes, with of course some pins, which will be useful, guess what, to link the wheels. Notice the little satellite dish made with just two parts, but that add to the overall details of this set. And then notice the slope bricks right there, orange part. Notice this part, which will really be interesting later on, but not really right now. Then going to link the wheels. So excuse me, I've got tons of parts to play with. So here we go, and now the drill part, which is mostly, well, which is just made with Technic parts, in fact, some Technic beams, and this parts which was first released in the Bionicle set 2 when you are, and of course it's quite useful because it's directly shaped in a drill. It's directly shaped like a drill. So we're going to link this part to the little pin in there, as you can see. And as you can see, it can be put in this way. And I think that's quite all for this part. So yeah, now just let's link the cockpit, which is quite simple because it's just a glass and this part which can be moved up or down. And of course, it will be linked right there. And here we go. The little drilling vehicle is done. So here is the comparison size between a spaceman and the vehicle, and of course you can open the cockpit, put the guy in the seat, and well, no, I guess it's all about touching the screen because there is no way a command control or command panel like most of the Mars mission set, because the cockpit is quite little, so it's quite small, and you don't really have space to include command or even some levers. But that's not the only gimmick, because of course it can roll perfectly, and you can also you also have 3 points of rotation on the drill, so one here, one there, and one there, plus of course the fourth one, which is used to turn the drill. But you can't really turn the drill on the side, you have to move on the vehicle, of course, to do that. But at least it works, and it's really nice. You are able to fold it back in this position. And well, that's all for the time, so now let's move on to the main event of this review, the dropship itself. And no, I'm not going to make everything fall down. So first, the front section, the cockpit section. We're going to begin with this part, as you can see, which is made with bricks with pinholes, which are quite useful to link, of course, these little parts used as guns, but also to, of course, link all of the other parts of the cockpit. Notice the gray pins right there, which will come in handy later on. Notice also there's blue parts on the sides, both sides, which will also be useful later on. You can also notice that even with this wounded parts, which are quite beautiful, we still have a hole in the cockpit, so that might be a problem for some people. Personally, I do not really care, but I know that some people are quite they do not really like when there is a hole in spaceship, and I can understand that. So yes, here you got still a hole in there. And also notice one important part is the brick directly molded with the ball joint, because yes, the cockpit and the rear part of the dropship are linked thanks to a connector ball joint technique, in fact. So notice this part. And well, now we're going to link the front part of the cockpit, which is quite simple because it's just this black, this big black part, and then some other parts as a command panel, which is the stickers, some leather, this white, as you can see, plate with some nice shape. And that said, you got 2 pinholes, you got 2 pins. Takes some time, of course. Try my yes, like that. And well, that's done. So now let's link some other parts, like this little wing part with some curved and sloped bricks. Curved, yes, like that on the sides. Now I think it's time to cover this ugly black and dark gray part. Of course, the color scheme is mostly white, orange, light gray, plus of course the usual dark gray and black in secondary colors. So I'm going to link this part right there. As you can see, it follows the shape of this little cheese part right there, which is quite nice. Of course, I'm going to link this part on both sides. Now I'm going to link the weapons, which are made with this part, as you can see. So some cylindrical shaped parts, some guns here. I guess you can understand how it's made, and of course it will be linked axle all, axle. Quite simple. And finally was the cockpit glass, which is here. I think it's a new glass we haven't seen this glass before, and well, it will be linked like that. There is no opening or closing mechanism in this set, so it just you put it on the studs or you detach it. There is no no incredible features here. It's just all about your fingers. And well, I think that's all for the front part of the ship, and what is the cockpit part, as you can see. Mostly, it can also be really a little spaceship of its own, by the way, but well, that's you to use your imagination. And well, that said, now it's time to move on to the rear part of the dropship, which of course is a lot bigger. So first, let's begin with this part. Nothing really to notice, just maybe this part right there on both sides, the pins, which will be useful later on, of course. And also notice the shape of this part, some really nice shape right here. Some curved and sloped bricks, so quite nice. Then we're going to link this part, which of course will be the main element of the ship, so the main frame of the spaceship. And here you have different elements to notice. So first, this part on both sides. Of course, this part with the connector, which will be linked directly to the ball joint part we have seen previously on the cockpit section. You can also notice that this part, of course, is mostly made of bricks with pinholes. Also notice there's 2 parts with some rubber plastic, which will really be useful later on. So we notice there's 2 parts. You can also notice the pins right there, and finally there's 2 blue parts with the little holes in there, which once again will come in handy later on. That said, I'm going to link these 2 parts together, like that. And now, let me guess, I'm going to put, yes, the feet of the dropship, if I can say so, thanks to the 4 pins you can see on each side. And these feet, well, they look like that. So mostly made of Technic parts or Technic beams. This light gray part, as you can see, which links the Technic beams and this part together. Then you got some spear and some this cylindrical shaped part. So it's really well done because it's full of little details, I think, and it's a nice way to make some dropship feet, at least in my opinion. I think it was really an interesting aspect of the spaceship, made with some little bot arms. That said, of course, we got a Technic beams full of pinholes, and we got 4 pins. So like that, and of course we're going to link on this type of parts on both sides. if you want the dropship to hold well. Like that. And it's looked pretty nice with this little rounded parts. And now let's cover the studs with some big, once again, curved and rounded parts. So this one will go here, and of course we need to cover this part. Well, once again, it will be really simple. We're just going to need this parts together, which are linked together with some nice stickers, excuse me. Linked like that. Now it's time to link the wings, which are made first with this type of part. So you can notice the brick with pinholes, the little engine parts right there, and this articulated parts here. Like that. And the wings are not the same. So here is the white one, which uses missile launchers, you can see, with just a trigger, so really simple. No more details on the wings, also you can notice there is nothing more apart the brick itself, the plate itself. And then the left wing, which got these two type of lasers made with some Technic bricks. Like that. And well, we are almost done, but now it's time to really finish all the rear part of the spaceship. So first, we're going to link the, I guess you call this vat, well, the kind of canisters part, which will hold the stretchers. So for those who do not know this part, of course, it was first used in Mars mission, and it's, well, trans orange with some pinholes, stuff like that, some Technic beams also, and notice the hose pipe right there, and also, of course, the stretcher. So it looks like that. You can, you have two options. You can put crystals in there, you can see, or you can put the alien thanks to this part and the molded part of the alien. So for example, here is one. Put this through the hole in this body and it will hold perfectly fine. And well, that said, I'm going to link this part now on the dropship. So first, it will be linked like that, and it's quite important to notice the little studs which pop out, because it's thanks to this little studs it allows this part to not fall off, because of course it touches the gray part, touch the blue piece, and as you can see it stays like that. It does not fall off all over the place, so it's really a nice idea. And then of course you got those pipes which will be linked, like I said earlier, on the little blue part in there, which of course you can't really see now, but I've shown you this part earlier in the review. And the second one, which comes here, and well, of course you're gonna put this part in there. And finally, the fin on the back now, so which looks like that, excuse me, like that. Notice the little part right there with the pinholes. It will be linked here. And finally, the engines on the back, the jet reactors. This time are quite simple. It's just a big light gray part, some fin on top of it, and well, that's quite all. Some trans blue part in there. Of course, now we got some weight on the back, so the spaceship is falling down, but not for so long, because I'm just going to link the missile in there, and now link the front part of the ship, so the cockpit, bulge-on to connector, or to bulge socket. Depends on the name you give it. And well, the dropship is done, guys. Took some time, but it seems to look pretty good. So first, of course, I'm going to do the usual turnaround, show you a little composition size, and then we'll talk about the gimmicks of the dropship. Oh, like that. So yes, just a little comparison size between Spaceman. So it still is pretty big. And well, that's quite also, of course, first the cockpit, so you can move this part up or down, they do not block. You can also turn this part on the sides if you want. The cockpit cannot be opened, it has to be opened. It has to be opened. Excuse me. It has to be opened the whole way, so with your bar ends. You can of course put the guy in there. And it's really nice to have this time a real cockpit, some real space to put a control panel, levers and stuff like that. And apart from that, of course, you can use the ball joint to move the part around, but apart from that, that's all for this section. Then the rear section with first the wings, which can be moved in different angles. So well, two of them, this one, and this one. Like that. So I'm going to just put it like that, I guess. Of course, the missile can be fired just putting the trigger, and it works perfectly nice. Of course, you got the container on the back, which can be moved a little on the sides and all, but thanks to the hose pipe and thanks to the stud, they do not move all around the place, but still can be moved, but not that much. Of course, you can put off or put in the stretchers, like I've shown you. And finally, the jet reactor can be moved up or down, or once again, all over the place. And I think that's all for this set, guys. So now it's the time for the sum up. Okay. Oh yes, the last gimmick, one of the most important, is that you may remember that I've shown you these two. Okay. This black part right there, I said it was going to be important. Well, no, it's important because remember the little drilling vehicle. Well, it's really simple. Notice this part. Notice the two parts, and it's attached. And as you can see, it's seems it's not going to be really strong to hold it enough time, but no, you can only move it around, shake it, it will not fall off because it just works perfectly well thanks to these two little parts made out of soft rubber plastic. So it's really held pretty well in an excellent way. So it's really one interesting gimmick because of course it's not called a dropship for nothing. In fact, of course, it's supposed to drop things, obviously. So yeah. The iron ship and the fourth alien, which has nowhere to go, in fact nowhere to sit or anything like that, is being rejected by his friends. So let's sum up. So first the minifigs. So of course they come in numbers, which is quite nice because you got 6 minifigs, 2 spacemen and 4 aliens, which is quite nice. The spacemen are the usual one. Of course, it's up to you to decide the one you prefer. Personally, I'm not really fan of most of the spaceman's face in the Mars mission sim, but well, they work, and at least they got some gold visors and some really nice front and back printing on their clothes, if I can say so. Of course, the aliens are not well articulated. I think you know that by now they just got 1 point of articulation, but well, at least they got some interesting design, even if they just look like some walls, because they are not really articulated at all. But I think that's nice. You got still 6 minifigs, so to play with, it's really nice. Then the different vehicles. So first, the spaceship. Well, that is one of the most original spaceship in the Mars mission sim, because well, it's not it's really built in an original way thanks to the axle which goes through most of the parts, and it really gives it a unique feeling, a unique design, and that's why this vehicle is really nice. there is not tons of drawbacks, not tons of complaints of this vehicle. Maybe just the axle which still pop out of the sides. Maybe that was what the designer wanted with this set, but it might look weird. Plus the fact that the aliens are not really protected in there. There is absolutely nothing between the two wings. So that might be a little problem, but apart from that, it's really a nice spaceship with tons of interesting parts, like of course the big curved part, the lime hose pipes, and all the trans neon green parts, like these antennas, are like this cylindrical parts. So really unique design and can only be found in this set. So really good spaceship. Then move on to the drilling vehicle, which of course is here linked on the dropship. So I have to admit that it's a quite simple vehicle, but at least it works. It not goes in. It doesn't really try to be everything at once like the human vehicle in the ETX Alien Strike set. Here it's more simple, but at least it works. It works because you just got some nice curved shape with the wheels and the cockpit. You've got the drill on the back, so maybe a little section to put the crystals. Well, apart from the stall complaints, at least it works, and that's really a nice little vehicle for me. At least it really works well because it's simple, because it does not try to be more complex than it can be, and well, that's all for me. It's simple and it works. So that's all I ask for this type of vehicle. And finally, the dropship. So if you want to complain about the dropship, so of course, except for the holes behind the cockpit, the fact that the wings are not really well detailed, because if you look, they are pretty simple on the top surface, on the upper face. And well, you can also complain about the container on the back. You might not like the shape of it or anything like that. But apart from this complaint, I do not really see much of them. So of course, you can also complain about the fact that the glass do not have a feature to move it up or close it down. But apart from that, that's really a good vehicle, at least for me, because it's not really original in terms of design in comparison to the other dropship you can find in video games or in comics or in films or on movies and stuff like that. No, it's not really. It's not going to revolutionize the dropship design, but at least it's simple, and once again it works. So see, it really works. It works because the shape is nice. It's nice looking and to the eyes. Excuse me, just lost my words here. Well, yes, the shape, yes, the overall shape of the vehicle is quite nice. It's smooth. The color scheme, of course, orange and white, really goes well here because there is not big black colors all over the place. So overall, it's really a nice vehicle, a good size. A nice cockpit because of the shape of it, the little guns on the sides, wings, and personally, I really like the corners on the back because it really gives the vehicle a unique shape if you look at it from the top. So overall, nice vehicle. And I think that's also, I think you have understood it by now, but this is a unique vehicle, really well made apart from some complaints. The little drilling vehicle is once again simple but works in an excellent way. And finally, the dropship, even if it does not revolutionize the dropship type of vehicle, it works well. It has some nice gimmicks like the dropship gimmick, which is just nice, and it works really it really works well. And well, you got 3 vehicles. Each of them got some little problems, but they are all really good vehicles, so you have to understand that this set is maybe not a must-have, but really close to be a must-have because of all the vehicles in there, the playability features, the design elements and stuff like that. It's really a great Mars mission set, if not one of the best Mars mission set for its price, because it costed like 40 euros at the time, so like $40. And that's really a nice price for this set, I think, because you got everything you need: 2 vehicles, 2 sides, well represented, some unique designs. So I do not really know what to ask more. So that's all for this review, guys. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any question on this set or anything like that, you can of course ask them in my comment section of this video. And that said, hope you enjoy this video, hope you enjoy this set, and see you later for another video review. Bye bye.